mighty ocean. Everything is of your motion can make the continents swing. Yet in all your might and glory, vanished from the sky. Another story, mystery, man-made life. It fell how it fell from the sky.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another edition of the Free American Hour. I'm your host, Clay Douglas. And I'll be able to add the new, or my old line to you. Publisher of the Free American, because I'm bringing the Free American back. It's going to be online. It's going to be an ebook. It's going to come out every other week, twice a month for now. And I'm going to have people in this, stories in this, besides what I write, just like my guest today, Robert J. Thorpe. Hello, Robert. How are you?
Hey, thank you very much for having me on, Clayton.
Yeah, let me just quote from the back of your book right now. Washington is broken. It's out of control. Spending and debts have set new, unimaginable records. The federal government spent over 1/3 of $1 trillion in just 28 days during February of 2010. That's $9 million per minute. The nation pays over $1.1 billion per day in interest payments on the national debt, which is over $4 billion per day by 2020. And there's more, but let's just skip to the point. You're absolutely right. Now, I just sat and watched an exiting president give away $2 trillion, and he basically gave it away to the people that print the money, the owners of the Federal Reserve, a private bank. Isn't that just bank robbery? I mean, weren't the American people just flat out robbed right there, right then, and they're doing it all the time according to the other information here. Is that right?
Well, probably the only thing that I liked about the TARP was they were supposed to be giving us our money back. We were supposed to get paid back for the money that we gave to the various financial institutions. I don't think that's necessarily the case of what has happened, because the old backroom deals and scratching each other's backs, what ended up happening was some of these banks were forgiven at least a portion of their loan. So in other words, the taxpayer then becomes, he's on the hook, he or she's on the hook for this money that's been forgiven, a gift from a politician in the name of the American people, which is pretty criminal behavior. Okay,
so you say in here that it's not the problems our nation are facing are not Republican or Democrat problems, but that's what we got up there. I call it two wings of the same bird. What's your take on it?
I think what I'm trying to stress is we get so caught up on defending the party of choice, defending the party that we belong to, and we lose sight of the big picture. And the big picture here is that we're bankrupting ourselves, our children, our grandchildren. We're bankrupting our nation, and we need to get past kind of partisan politics and start addressing the problems at hand. And I refer, when you're talking about, for example, the last 20 months, our nation borrowed $3 trillion, which is just obscene. And in my book, I talk about, what is $1 trillion? Well, if I took $1 trillion $1 bills and made a stack, a single stack, it would be as tall as 8.5 planet Earth. So we've now borrowed $3 trillion. What is that? Like 26 planet Earth stacked on top of each other in the last 20 months. I refer to it as intergenerational larceny. We're stealing from people that are unborn. The original Tea Party was taxation without representation. The colonists were angry. England was abusing the colonies, and the coined phrase of the time was taxation without representation. Well, goodness, if we're talking about leaving a debt on our children and our grandchildren and maybe even their children, our great-great-grandchildren, then they certainly had no representation. They had no say in it as far as taking on that massive debt.
Now, Robert, I've made the statement that our founding fathers fought the New World Order of their day. The sun never sets on the English Empire.
Right.
And they gave us the Constitution and our Bill of Rights that is really a guideline for freedom, no matter where you're at. But we got it here in America. Your book says it's called Reclaim Liberty, and it's a 3-step plan for restoring our constitutional government. Now, I've been reporting on this for 20 some odd years, 25 years. And I said originally back in 1994 that that there's a well-documented plan for one world government. It's the Communist Manifesto. Every plank on the Communist Manifesto has been instituted in America today. There's a lot of buzz even going on mainstream about Obama and his socialist or communist policies. What happened to our constitutional republic? We got a bunch of politicians up there that are going, our great democracy. Excuse me, sir. Excuse me. When did our republic become a democracy? The politician disappears, the cameras turn off, and you got a bunch of people standing around scratching their head and going, what happened?
Our founders were afraid of a democracy. If you wanted to coin what our country is, it's first and foremost it's a republic, and you can call it a republic, a democratic republic, in that we do have representatives that create our laws, but we do also have a voting process where the people get to choose those representatives. So it'd be better coined as a democratic republic. To give you an example, Nancy Pelosi during the healthcare debate was approached by a Canadian reporter, and he asked the question, where in the Constitution does it give Congress the authority to create a healthcare mandate? In other words, to basically cause people to have to go out and purchase a product, in this case, health insurance. And here we got the representative of the House of Representatives. She's the Speaker of the House. She's been in politics for years and years and years. Of course, she couldn't quote any part of the Constitution that gave them that authority. Her reply to this reporter was, "Are you serious? Are you serious?" And then she ended up taking a different question. The people that are in Washington, our representatives, they have a very cavalier attitude about the laws they pass. They're actually, most of them are not even concerned whether the laws they pass and enact are constitutional. Instead, they're taking an approach that is probably causing our founding fathers to roll in their grave. They're taking an approach that they'll create a law. They're not concerned whether it's a constitutional law, and if it turns out to be unconstitutional, that goes on the back of the Supreme Court, and they'll let the Supreme Court.
All right, hold on just a second here. I'm getting saying people tell me there's no sound here. Let me see what. Let's see. I've got. Do we have sound yet on the chat room, folks? I'm broadcasting. All of my lines are hooked up. Everything looks like it's working. I can hear my guest. And it's okay. All right. We got audio again. All right.